What life is like for Amy Duggar King today. Amy Duggar King, a name once frequently associated with the ultra-conservative Duggar family, featured on 19 Kids and Counting, has long carved out her own identity away from the strict rules and media scrutiny that defined much of her extended family's public image. Known affectionately as the rebel Duggar cousin, Amy has distanced herself from the traditional expectations upheld by the Duggars and instead embraced a more independent lifestyle. This article offers a factual, unbiased look at what life is currently like for Amy Duggar King in 2025, from her family life and business ventures to her public statements and her evolving relationship with her famous relatives. Amy Duggar King is now living a relatively quiet life compared to the peak of Duggar family fame. She is married to Dillard King, and the couple shares a son, Daxton Ryan King, born in October 2019. Amy often shares glimpses of her family life through social media, where she appears deeply committed to motherhood and creating a nurturing home environment. Amy's social media is filled with updates about parenting, toddler milestones, and the joys and challenges of raising a young boy. While she does share photos and videos, she often adds disclaimers or context, reflecting a protective and mindful approach to public exposure. Unlike some members of the Duggar family who were raised on reality television, Amy seems to be prioritizing privacy and intentional parenting. She frequently emphasizes gratitude for the small, daily moments like trips to the park, baking at home, or bedtime stories, highlighting her desire to build a life filled with authenticity and love rather than public spectacle. Amy and Dillard King's relationship continues to thrive. The couple celebrated their wedding in 2015 with a ceremony that broke many Duggar conventions: dancing, sleeveless gowns, and even serving alcohol. These details, though minor to most, signaled Amy's ongoing decision to live outside the boundaries set by her extended family's belief system. In interviews and posts, Amy often refers to Dillard as her best friend and biggest supporter. The couple has openly discussed attending therapy and working on their marriage, making them stand out in a family culture where traditional gender roles and emotional repression have sometimes been the norm. Their honesty has resonated with many of their followers. They frequently collaborate on parenting responsibilities and present a united front when it comes to their son's upbringing. While they do not share every personal detail, their communication style is often described as open and balanced. Outside of family life, Amy is also active in the business world. She previously ran a boutique called 3130 Clothing, which she launched with the idea of providing modest yet modern fashion options for women. While the boutique gained attention, especially among Duggar followers and critics alike, it has since shut down. Amy cited shifting priorities, wanting to focus more on family and less on the demands of entrepreneurship. In its time, 3130 Clothing served as a representation of Amy's unique place within the Duggar universe, balancing elements of modesty with trends and maintaining independence from the family's rigid standards. Its closure marked a transition in Amy's life from public-facing businesswoman to someone more interested in private growth. Currently, Amy is said to be working behind the scenes on other creative endeavors, though she has not announced any major new projects. She occasionally collaborates with brands on social media and continues to engage with her audience on parenting, wellness, and self-care topics. Perhaps one of the most talked about aspects of Amy's life today is her evolving relationship, or lack thereof, with the Duggar family. Over the past few years, Amy has made headlines for speaking out in support of Duggar women who have distanced themselves from the family's restrictive teachings. She has expressed solidarity with cousins like Jed Duggar Dillard, who have publicly criticized the family's dynamics and control. Amy's comments have always walked a fine line. She doesn't attack individuals directly, but she does clearly denounce the belief systems and practices she finds harmful. Amy has also voiced concern over how women and children were treated in the family's environment, especially in light of the scandals involving Josh Duggar. In statements following Josh's sentencing and the public backlash, Amy was vocal about accountability and justice, encouraging healing and independence for those affected. Her stance has resulted in some estrangement from certain family members, although she remains close with a few. Publicly, she maintains that she wishes healing for everyone and is focusing on her own path rather than continuing old patterns. Amy identifies as a Christian, but she does not follow the Institute in Basic Life Principles, the religious framework followed by the Duggar parents, Jim, Bob, and Michelle. Instead, Amy's faith appears to be more mainstream and flexible. She speaks about grace, forgiveness, and the importance of personal connection with God, rather than adherence to rules or systems. Her approach to religion is reflected in how she raises her son and shares her values with her online community. She promotes kindness, mental health awareness, and a relationship-based understanding of faith rather than legalism. This philosophical divergence is a large part of why Amy continues to find herself at odds with the cultural expectations placed on the Duggar family. She does not denounce faith itself, but rather critiques what she describes as manipulation and spiritual abuse masquerading as religious conviction. Amy Duggar King has cultivated a modest but loyal following across social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok. Her tone is conversational, unfiltered, and often humorous. She shares parenting moments, fashion tips, encouragement for young mothers, and occasional commentary on current events or celebrity news. Her followers frequently praise her for being relatable and transparent. Amy does not shy away from discussing mental health, anxiety, or parenting frustrations, topics rarely addressed in the Duggar public persona. Her candor has allowed her to build a distinct brand that focuses on real-life imperfection rather than curated appearances. She also uses her platform to support victims of abuse and amplify messages about healing and self-worth, reflecting the lessons she's learned in distancing herself from the more restrictive aspects of her upbringing. Amy is aware that, by speaking out, she invites both support and criticism. While many applaud her courage in distancing herself from a well-known family with such a specific image, others accuse her of capitalizing on the Duggar name. Amy has addressed this criticism directly, often noting that her goal is not attention but truth-telling. In recent interviews, she has emphasized the importance of boundaries and protecting her mental health. She has stated that she has no desire to rejoin reality TV or create content for the sake of fame. Her current life, she says, is rooted in peace, presence, and parenting. Her neutral but firm approach has kept her mostly out of controversy, especially compared to others in the Duggar sphere. While she remains a public figure due to her connections, she increasingly uses her voice to uplift others rather than stir conflict. Looking ahead, Amy Duggar King appears focused on continuing to nurture her family, deepen her personal growth, and live a life free from unhealthy expectations. While she remains open to creative opportunities, she seems uninterested in re-entering the media spotlight in any major way. If anything, Amy's trajectory suggests she will continue building a quiet, independent life marked by authenticity, love, and a willingness to speak up when it matters. She may not be filming television shows or writing tell-all books, but her day-to-day transparency has carved out a meaningful place for her in the public consciousness. Amy Duggar King represents a version of Duggar life that many did not get to see, one that challenges harmful traditions while still holding space for faith, family, and hope.